What's good, YouTube? It's of course Leviathan Prophecy, and uh, I was watching the draft. I was watching the draft. I was watching the draft last night, and obviously the Knicks didn't necessarily. They wasn't in the top five. They fell to number 8. Um, they they fell to number 8, and um. I I just don't know what to say at this point. Um, I had to let it sink in because that's why I didn't upload a video yesterday. Because I didn't want to come on here and say something stupid. Um, but now that it's sunk in, and I understand that we have the eighth pick now. A trade, like if the Knicks would have traded the eighth pick, it would have been difficult because I don't think nobody in their right mind would move up with the Knicks. Like who wants that eighth spot? Nobody. So we're just gonna have to do with the best of what we got, and hopefully, we could get a productive player from that eighth pick. Now, there's a lot of track records that the Knicks don't necessarily do good when they picking that low. You know, um, we drafted Frank, we drafted Channing Frye, we drafted Jordan Hill, who we should have drafted Curry, but obviously the whole debacle. We drafted, Franklin Aquina. We drafted Kevin Knox. We drafted R.J. Barrett. So the track record when we draft low is not that good. Obviously we drafted Christoph Porzingis with the fourth pick. So he didn't really amount to nothing. Yeah, he had a few special moments, buzzer beaters. Which that buzzer beater against the Hornets, it waved off. They waved it off, and then the Hornets wind up winning that game. But he didn't necessarily do anything spectacular. You know what I'm saying? He was just a soft European guy who bitched and moaned a lot. You know what I'm saying? When he don't get his way, because that's why he was dying to play with Dirk Nowitzki. You know, I think that's why he wanted to get out of New York so he could play with his, protege, to play with his mentor. You know what I'm saying? Because he really looked up to Dirk. You know, so the fact that he never played against Dirk, I mean, it's a head scratcher. I mean, I don't know how those two would fare if Dirk was still playing. But I don't know. But he got Luca, so I mean. But anyways, I wrote down some things that can shed some light. Um, so I said my top New York Knicks reasons, top five, eighth pick. So we're gonna start at number 5. The top 5 reasons why the Knicks fell to number 5 is because they finished with a 21-46 record, and they only had 9%. They only had 9% at the top 5, a crack at the top 5. You know, and what that means is, if this was the NFL draft, let's say if this was the NFL draft is from least to better Well, from least to mediocre to great, right? In that order. If this was the NFL draft, the Golden State Warriors would have had the first pick of the draft. The Knicks would have probably fell at number five, hypothetically saying. But since this is the NBA draft, the NBA draft platform, I mean format is different from the NFL. You know, the NFL, the NBA does their the NFL, I mean the NBA does their draft by percentages. You know, lottery. You know what I'm saying? Just like how you go out and you scratch tickets to see if you win, the percentage of you winning that amount of money rolls through the numbers. So you have to get the lucky numbers in order for you to cash that $1 million or however much money it is. Okay? They had a 9% chance at top at the nine. They had a six. No, they had a 9% chance to crack out the top five. The number four reason why the Knicks fell was because of the Mavericks picks, total 12. We have the most draft picks than any other team in the NBA. We have 12 draft picks, let alone the trades, the draft picks that we got from the Mavericks for KP. You know what I'm saying? We wind up sending KP, Burke, Courtney Lee, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and KP. And in exchange, you know, obviously we had some money. I think the Mavericks sent some money and a few draft picks, right? A few draft picks. I think it was just one draft pick, but we had multiple picks before that. The number third reason why the Knicks fell at number eight is because the eighth pick we could get a solid two-way player. Now, if you look at the draft history, you know, dating all the way back to the 90s, 80s, early 2000s, some of the best players that we all know and love today wasn't even picked first. Kawhi Leonard wasn't the first pick of the draft. Curry wasn't the first pick of the draft. Paul George out of Fresno State wasn't the first pick of the draft. So you could get a gemstone in this draft. Tony Parker, who's probably going to be a future Hall of Famer, wasn't the first pick of the draft. Manu Ginobili wasn't the first pick of the draft. You know what I'm saying? So you can find great two-way players in this draft. You know, like we've ramped, we have revamped the scouting department. You know, we've hired the best scouters that we can find out of Leon Rose and Wild Wild West. So, you know, it's really up to them to scout and see who can fit our team with Tom Thibodeau and his people and, you know, let the chips fall where they may. You know what I'm saying? So, all hope is not lost, you know? So, yeah. Um, number two, number two reasons why the Knicks fell in the draft is because we have to believe in Tom's plan. What I mean by Tom, I mean obviously Tom Thibodeau. We have to believe in his plan. He has a plan in place that'll make us all succeed. Now I know, you know, there's a lot of, you know, ups and downs about Tom Thibodeau. You know, he over, you know, he put like he over like he put like he puts more minutes on his players. You know, I think that's the only knock on him. Defensively, there's no question he's a defensive genius. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it everywhere he went. You know, um, but he has a tendency of, you know, putting more minutes on, you know, a player, and you know obviously that player goes down and he gets injured. He's never himself, just like Derrick Rose. You know what I'm saying? And I say that look, I don't think it was because of the minutes. A lot of people might say, oh, it's because of the minutes. I think it was just the way Derrick Rose plays. He plays so reckless and abandoned. Like he puts so much joints on his. He puts so much pressure on his joints when he's making these acrobatic hop steps and all that stuff like that. That puts a lot of pressure on your joints. So I don't think it's because of the minutes. Because if that was the case, Allen Iverson would have been exhausted, tired. You know what I'm saying? Like he's played way more minutes than Derrick Rose has, and you don't see him. Like I'm saying, like you didn't see him get all beat up and tired and fatigued and stuff like that. Maybe his body was used to it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, but Tom Thibodeau has a plan, and we just have to just stick with that plan and see what that plan is. Um, And the number one reason why the Knicks fell to number 8 is because James Dolan got to go. James Dolan. Um, I think James Dolan is the only person in that organization that's still there. We got rid of that cat. I forgot his name. Uh, I forgot his name, but we got rid of him. Yeah. And then obviously we Pat Mills. There you go, Pat Mills. We got rid of Pat Mills for the longest. We should have gotten rid of him when we got rid of Phil Sims. I mean, not Phil Sims, Phil Jackson. Um, but we got rid of Pat Mills, and now we gave the keys to Scott Perry. And I think those two combined, I think they'll do great things. If Jalen Rose, I mean, if James Dolan just stay out of the way, if he just tends to his business, go about his business, focus on his music career, whatever have you, or his silly stupid band, then if they let Leon Rose and Scott Perry do what they have to do, I think the Knicks will be in a great position. Because right now I mean, with even if the Knicks had the number one pick, I don't think no rookie these days would help us. You know, I mean, I don't think these rookies would help us in the long haul. You know, maybe down the road for like 3 years from now, okay. But for right now, I don't think no rookie will help us because the NBA has changed. Back then it was okay. Yeah, we give this rookie the keys to the car, and then we give this rookie the keys to the city, and then he's supposed to put us on the map. You know, that's not like that no more. The days of rookies carrying on the team, whether it's the NFL or the NBA, it's over. Like they literally gave AP Adrian Peterson the keys to the city of Minnesota, and he still couldn't get it done. Even though he rushed, even though he broke numerous rushing titles, you know what I'm saying? He passed, numerous legends on the all-time rushing list. He's probably like fifth, seventh of all time. I don't think he passed Eric Dickerson yet, but I'm just saying hypothetically, like they gave like look how many years he's been on the not Mavericks on the Vikings, excuse me, on the Vikings. Like look how many years he's been on the Vikings. But anyways, but the days of rookies carrying a team like Iverson did and LeBron James did, it's over. The league has changed, and I don't think. I mean, if you really look at this draft class from top to bottom, it's not really all that polished at all. It's not like last year's draft class when it was deep. You had John Morant, you had RJ, you had Zion Williamson. You know what I'm saying? This draft class, yeah, you have a few cats that have, high ceiling, high potential, but then again you have cats that, isn't ready. They say they're not NBA ready. Well, the scouts say they're not NBA ready. So, you don't know what you're gonna get in this draft. You don't know what these seedings are actually or actually mean for the future. Um, but I mean, there's a lot of players that can fall way down. Like, why did Edwards fall way down? Why did Wiseman fall way down? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like a like the Golden State Warriors could get Obi Toppin, which I would have wanted because, like I said in my last video, I said that my heart wanted the number two pick. If the Knicks would have gotten the number two pick, I would have been fine. But I get my guess is that we was gonna pick six. So I was off two slots, because it was the Knicks and then the Pistons. So I was off two slots when I said that the Knicks was gonna get the sixth pick. I thought they was gonna get the sixth pick, but they got the eighth pick. So I was off like two slots, two picks. But we're just gonna have to work with what we got because I don't think no team is gonna trade up or trade down. You know what I'm saying? Unless they're the teams that pick in the top 15. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we're gonna go back. You know, you know what I'm saying? So no team in the top five is gonna change their picks. They're gonna keep who they got, and they're gonna draft on who they think that player can help them. You know, uh, we can see a lot of people slide down. Wiseman may not even be the first pick. He might probably be like the fifth pick. Topping, Obi Topping. Out of Dayton. He's a New York native, you know what I'm saying? Like he says that he studied his game after AD and Amari Stoudemire, which was music to my ears because I'm a huge Amari Stoudemire fan. Like I followed him through Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? When he went to the Knicks, like I was ecstatic. You know what I'm saying? I was fired up. You know what I'm saying? Like when he said that, yep, the Knicks are back, which they was until the fucking Carmelo Anthony saga creeped up. But I'm not saying that Carmelo Anthony was the reason why we dipped down a little bit, but the chemistry before he got there was just electrifying. The ball was moving. There was no ball movement. I mean, there was no ball centric hero. There was no ISO. There was no hero ball. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got the piece of the pie. We had some young talent. You know what I'm saying? And then we gave it all away just for Carmelo Anthony. We still had success. Don't get me wrong. We still had success. Because if you look back at that trade, who won that trade? The Knicks did. Because most of the draft picks that the Denver Nuggets got didn't amount to nothing. None of the draft picks that they got that they picked didn't amount to nothing. So the way I see it, the Knicks won that trade, even though it was a sloppy trade because the Knicks could have waited until Carmelo Anthony was a free agent and then do it that way. You know what I'm saying? But they, I mean, just stupidity. But anyways, but yeah, Obi Topping Amari's his game or polished his games after AD and Amari Stoudemire. Which like when I heard that was music to my ears because I'm the biggest Amari fan out there. I mean his game. I mean, if he's another Amari Stoudemire, then hell. I mean, I do think he's gonna fall due to his draft stock. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how analysts are. They like to nitpick on the bad and the good. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, they said the same thing about Amari Stoudemire. You know what I'm saying? Like they said that he's a great shot blocker. His strengths. They said that he's He's more intimidating than people think he is. He's more powerful around the rim. What they said about his weaknesses, he has slow feet. Um, he's not really a great, mid-range shooter. Um, I mean, just little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why Kobe never went to college, because if Kobe would have went to college, they would have nitpicked on him just like they do all the others. And he said that, listen, I don't want nobody to talk about my game. I know what I bring to the table. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. They don't. They just a bunch of cats in suits that have never played the game before, and they're trying to critique my game because they didn't make it them damn selves when they were my age. You know what I'm saying? So they knew, like Kobe knew how good he was. He didn't want a whole bunch of people talking about his strengths and his weaknesses. He knew what he could bring to a team, and it showed. Became one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. So, yeah. So that's my take on um, this whole Knicks debacle again. But you just gotta look at the positives. You know, you can't dwell on the negatives. You're just gonna have to. The Knicks are just gonna have to find a way to pick the best players that they know that can help us win in the long haul. Because you never know. Some of these players might drop. LaMelo Ball might drop all the way to seventh. You don't know. Like the Pistons might probably take a LaMelo Ball at seven, and then the Knicks probably Obi Topping can fall into us. So if the chips fall where they may, we may still have a great draft. Now I don't know how many picks we have because the NBA only has like 2 rounds. So hopefully we'll have a pick in the second round. I think we have the Mavericks 27th pick, I believe in the second round, or probably in the first round. Uh, but I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below. I know we have 12 draft picks, but I just don't know where we're gonna pick. I know where, but I just don't know, like in the second round. I don't know if we have a second pick after the first round. So, but yeah, if you're a Knicks fan, hit that like button, smash on the notification button, and tell me, was this Knicks pick disaster, or was it a good thing, or was it a bad thing? I mean, this draft class isn't too deep. It really isn't. Like I said, you have a few cats that have high potential, high ceilings, and then you have other cats that you know that have struggling issues. That needs to work on their games. You know, I mean they're gonna nit and pick on everybody. They're gonna say the highs and the lows about everybody, so nobody's safe. You know, they're gonna say they're gonna say a lot of negative stuff about LaMelo Ball. They're gonna say a lot of positive stuff about LaMelo Ball. They're gonna say a lot of bad stuff about Zion. I mean Wiseman. They're gonna say good things about Wiseman. Anthony Edwards. They're gonna say a lot about him. They're gonna say a lot of good things about him. They're gonna say another package. I mean they're gonna say a lot of positive things and bad things about him. So nobody's safe in this draft. Everybody got pros and cons in this draft. Nobody's perfect, you know. But who gets the pick right within these next few months will tell all. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm not one of these Knicks fans that I mean, it hurts. It really does. I'm not faking. I'm not putting on a fake smile. Like it hurts. It really does. Because I just want my Knicks to do good. Um, but I mean, we just not ready. I feel like we just not ready. We're not ready to compete for no titles. We're not ready to compete for no division titles. We're just taking it one step at a time. You know. But like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.